What is going on YouTube? My name is Bancroft. Thank you for tuning in. And today we're doing another Star Wars gameplay video. And today's matchup is actually Director Krennic taking on Iden. So like always, there's buttons, links down below. Feel free to click them. They're there for a reason. But let's get into it. Director Krennic on the undeployed side gives each friendly damage unit a +1/+0. And then once deploy has restore 2. And then each friendly damage unit gets +1/+0 still. And then Iden is kind of like the healing leader. Has an action if an enemy unit was defeated this phase, heal 1. Oh my gosh, heal 1 damage from your base. And then on the deployed side, comes in with shield, but then also when an enemy unit is defeated, you just heal 1 damage. So it's pretty good when you deploy and then kind of is able to do like a mass removal. Works out great. And the bases we are playing today, I'm playing the Director deck, and I'm playing just a basic 30k base, a 30 health base, and the Iden player is playing Tarkin Town. So we got that nice little -3 whenever they need to use it. The first couple plays we got going on in this matchup is the Seasoned Stormtroopers. When you get 6 resources, he gets additional +2/+2. And Iden turned around played a 1-cost 3/1 Stormtrooper. Falling up into the next phase, I end up playing the Super Laser Technician, which is kind of good, you know, gives you some ramp capabilities. And I kind of, they just end up trading 2 of our cards, just kind of get rid of the pressure there. So going into this follow-up kind of like response to me, they end up playing Regional Governor. When played, name a card while this unit is in play. Your opponent can't play the named card. It took them a bit to kind of figure out what would be the best choice, and ultimately, you know, seeing the Super Laser Technician out there, they end up calling Darth Vader. So just kind of keeping it there alive. Yeah, I actually don't play Darth Vader in my deck just because I don't have any Darth Vaders, but I wasn't going to reveal that at the time and just let it kind of sit there and let it be what it is. So we end up ending phase 2, going into the regroup part to move into the next phase. And where I still have the initiative token, the first play for this turn, I think, will be, let's see here, paying 3. Nope, doing a change of mind there. All right. So I think I was debating on between playing a card or doing a little bit of mind game while getting a ramp out. So I ended up playing the Stormtrooper Lieutenant just to kind of get rid of his card and then make him think, oh no, I'm going to play Vader this turn. So hopefully maybe he'll spend more resources playing another card like that when he sees it. So getting a nice early ramp. This allowed me to actually deploy my leader this turn if I wanted to, actually. Or this phase. And then he ends up paying 4 for a takedown, which, you know, defeating a unit 5 or less remaining HP. Kind of getting rid of the board presence there. Didn't want to use his base effect just yet. But I do get the leader on board. And this may, I don't know, looking at when I go back over this video game, I was kind of like, that seemed kind of early. But I did have a cell block guard ready to go for it. And I almost passed turn there. I completely forgot that I could still attack with the leaders for some reason. And I think what happened is, like, I saw restore 2. I'm like, I'm not going to heal, so there's no point in getting damage. But my opponent was, you know, nice enough, like, hey, you can still attack. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, thanks. So now we're going to the next phase where I'm sitting at 6, he is sitting at 5. And he still can't deploy Iden for at least another phase. So I need to maximize this turn. Especially being at 6 resources, that should be pretty easy. They do play cell block guard themselves, but I followed up with I am your father. I'm hoping he allows me to take the draw, but he ends up just letting me defeat the unit. I'm like, okay, that works. So in response, he does do a force choke onto my leader, giving it 5 points of damage, which, you know, kind of sucks. The leader is only a 2/7, so only needs 2 more points of damage before I can't do anything else. And I think here I play another Super Laser Technician. Yeah. Kind of just letting him know next turn I'm going to get another ramp off. They take initiative, and I end up just swinging both cards, and we end up passing this phase. So taking an early lead right now on my side, which kind of feels pretty good. But anything can happen. I mean, he is playing a red deck. Red has abilities of just kind of like popping out things here and there. And following up with Ruthless Raiders, yeah. So like I said, throwing things out there. He took the initiative, got the first turn, which was able to kind of snipe my leader, which is great. Ruthless Raiders, when played or when defeated, deals 2 damage to any enemy base and 2 damage to an enemy unit. So like I said earlier, my leader only had 2 health remaining, so it kind of worked out in his favor. They turned around and used the leader's ability to kind of get a heal off after I swung with Super Laser Technician. Swing again with the cell block, just kind of get the extra damage there. He deploys his leader, which, reminder, does come out with shield. But I do have a Death Trooper in my hand, which I use to kind of pop my Super Laser Technician and also get rid of the shield. So now if he wants to swing with his leader, he has to at least take 3 damage there. I end up taking the initiative, nothing much else to do this turn. And he ended up passing, like, he was pretty much exhausted as well. I mean, he could have possibly used his base to pop 3, but I think he was trying to save it for a particular threat down the road. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 8 resources. And here we're kind of discussing, like, if I were to attack and kind of do the trade, he would still get the, he would still heal 1 point. I'm like, yeah. Actually, sorry, I'm sitting at 9 resources. And I think I end up doing the trade just to get rid of the leader, because I don't know what else he could do this turn, and I don't want that to be a problem. So yeah, we end up doing a trade here, and he gets 1 heal going back down to 9. He follows up with 4 more points of damage to my base, and now I don't remember how many cards are in my hand, but I do have 9 resources to play the Relentless, which the first event played by each opponent each round loses all its abilities. So it kind of it makes your opponent have to play around this. So they want to play an event, they have to play a cheap one, then play the one they want to play. This is an 8/8, which is kind of nice, but he does have another Ruthless Raider ready to go to kind of snipe it down to 6 health. But because of my leader's ability, it does get him a 9, which is kind of great. And I think I do take the initiative here. He ends up passing as well. We go into the regroup phase, kind of readjust and figure out what's the next play. There's not many options. I think I have 1 card in my deck that's 10 resources, so I think like from this point on, I should stop placing cards there. But we'll see what happens. I do start this phase off though with a Stormtrooper Lieutenant, and I'll give the +2/+0 to my Relentless, making it 11 points of damage to his base, putting him at 20 to my 8 now. But he ends up doing something very clever. He trades with his Ruthless Raiders because of its when defeated effect as well, making it do 6 damage to my Relentless, which is really good. I turn around and play. I didn't pull that card, so I don't remember at the top of my head what it's called, but it's on play and when deleted. I can look at the top 2 cards of my deck, which then allows me to put them either at the top or bottom, which is pretty nice. Allows you kind of like see things that you want to see. He ends up responding with Emperor Palpatine, which just does when played, deals 6 damage divided as you choose to any enemy units. and pretty much cleared my board out from that point on. And I follow up with another cell block for the next phase, just for a little protection there. I don't know why. I don't remember what that card's called top of my head. So following up with the regroup phase, I'm in a tough situation right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I think there's a turn at some point I do charge a resource. I don't know why at the top of my head. But I'm almost to the point where I'm literally just playing top deck. Just trying to get cards in my hand that will allow me to do other things down the road. So here I'm debating about what to do. And I think this is the turn where I actually choose to pass. Yeah. I want to see what he does in order to respond from here. And he just heals one. I'm like, okay, yeah. I need to start actually making actions in. Because I realized after that moment that, like, literally he has 2 actions he could do before even playing a card. So here with like only 2 or 3 cards in my hand, I think it was a bit of a hiccup here. I didn't, for some reason, he used the leader's ability, and my brain didn't process that was his action for the turn. And we're just waiting for a quick second, trying to figure out whose turn it was. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my turn. Okay, sorry about that. So here I'll end up, I think, paying 3 for a card next, once we get through all the confusion that's happening. There was a lot of games going on this day, too, as well. But Power of the Dark Side, I'm making him choose a target to get rid of. And he ultimately chooses the Ruthless Raiders, which isn't a bad choice. Normally, when it attacks, it does 4 damage. But because it's defeated, it does 2 damage. So, like, he loses out on... He does 4 damage when it attacks, deals 2 damage when undefeated. So, like, he loses out on 2 points there. But Palpatine does have Overwhelm. So, like, if I were to play another ground unit, he can just attack into it and do the excessive amount of damage to my base instead. And we can see here, like, even though at the beginning of the game, like, there was a great lead, it's now almost tied, 15-19. And yeah, right here, I go to 11 resources. I don't remember the thought process of it, but I pay 3 for another cell block just to kind of have it down the board. And he pays 3 to remove it. So yeah. I mean, yes, he could have attacked into it, which then would have gotten rid of Palpatine. But having that extra card, sorry, that event card in his hand ready to go was really good for him. And here he attacks with his Imperial Interceptor, which I didn't talk about that one. On play, it will deal 3 damage to a space unit, but I didn't have anything there. And here he's just slowly poking at me. And I had 1 card left in my hand. He does use a Force Throw for me to get rid of it. And you'll see it's is it Devastator? Not Devastator, sorry. Not Overgrown, it's a magic card. Overwhelmed, not Overwhelmed. I don't remember the card. Alright. But pretty much it gives a card a Overwhelming Barrage. It is Overwhelmed, yeah. Gives a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. Then it deals damage equal to the power divided as you choose to any amount of units. So I was kind of holding on to it primarily with the cell block unit, actually, to do kind of like a 3 damage to both his units, get rid of them. But didn't see it, unfortunately. Here we follow up another takedown, just get rid of Palpatine, so it's not 6 points damage going to my base. But there's not much I could do, unfortunately, where I'm not drawing anything that could be beneficial. And this comes down to, obviously, like, yes, RNG is a factor, but this kind of let me know, like, there's some things I need to change in my deck to hopefully improve upon it for future games. They end up playing that, or Palpatine was going to activate their leader's ability, but realized, like, I didn't lose any units this turn. And We pass, and I'm hoping to just top deck something that could help me out. And unfortunately, I think I straight up said in the video, in the match, I'm like, yeah, I didn't get anything. So let us pay 9 for Relentless, and then you just attacked him into my base with Palpatine. And he's like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm like, yep, good game. And yeah, that's today's matchup. Hope you all enjoyed. Keep in mind, there's buttons, links down below. Yeah, that's it. Bye.